Program coordinator at Inspire, West Virginia. She has grown up in Charleston, West Virginia. In 2013, she obtained her Bachelor's of Art from the Physiology from WVU. In May of 2015, Catherine graduated with a master's degree in public health from WVU's School of Public Health. Let's give Catherine a warm welcome from Boise State.
Thank you, guys. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes. Okay, good. So, as he said, my name is Catherine Ryan. I'm a program coordinator with Inspire, West Virginia. Can everybody raise your hand if you've ever heard of Inspire, West Virginia? All right. Wow, a ton of people. Okay, raise your hand if you have ever heard me speak at your school before. Good, so you won't be sick of my presentation. So, Brad over here, will you stand up, Brad? Brad is, give him a round of applause. Brad was an inspired leader last year, so he worked in our program, and he registered 100% of his senior class to vote, and therefore got the Jennings Randolph Award for his school, which was presented by the Secretary of State's office. Brad and the other inspired leaders at his school were recognized by the Secretary of State's office in front of the student body for their efforts. So, yeah, Brad's really awesome, and you guys can be awesome too. I want to make sure you know what he looks like because he is here. You guys can talk to him if you're more interested in learning more about Inspire West Virginia. So, how many people in here are registered to vote? Good, good. So how many people in here think that they are not yet old enough to register to vote? Okay, keep your hands up if you think you're not old enough to register to vote. Put your hand down if you're 17 years old. You are eligible to register to vote at 17. So the general rule is if you'll be 18 by the next general election, then you can register at 17. So since the next general isn't until November of 2018, all 17-year-olds are eligible right now. And Brad Bordelon over here has voter registration forms. You can fill one out while you're here and talk to him more about the voting process. So how many people, I know this is an annoying question, but how many people think voting is important? Why? Let your voice be heard. That's a good one. Why do you think it's particularly important for young people? Very good. Not enough young people vote. So the young voice really isn't being as heard as it should be, right? So how many people, and be honest, raise your hand if you think that politicians really just kind of want to get reelected. That's really what they're out for. Yeah? I agree. I mean, if you think about it, these people have put a ton of time and money into getting elected, and if you're going to go to all that effort, you probably really care about your state, right? If you're working to become a legislator or whatever it is you're running for, you must really, really want that job. So it makes sense, right, that people want to get reelected, and that's actually how our democracy is designed to work. So that's how the Founding Fathers wanted it. They wanted politicians to have an incentive to get reelected because how do you do that? How do you get reelected? Campaign? Who do you have to appeal to? The people, mostly not just the people, in particular the voters, right? So you have to appeal to the people who are showing up to vote. And so that's how the people have a voice, is they show up to vote and elected officials say, gosh, I need to make sure I'm appealing to my constituents so that I get reelected, so I really need to work on this that the voters care about. So I know this is going to be a lot with everybody, how many people we have, but will everybody stand up? Okay, all right. You all are the population of West Virginia, and we're about to have an election. So this is just a good activity to see how many people actually vote. So I need everyone from this table down to sit down. Okay, why do you think these people cannot vote? Why do you think that is? Too young. They are ineligible. They cannot register to vote. They're either too young, they have a felony, something like that. Okay, everyone from this table to, yeah, that table. Sit down. Okay, these people cannot vote either. Why do you think that is? I can't really hear you, but the reason is that they are eligible to register, but they did not register to vote. So you cannot register to vote the day of the election. You have to register, it's like a couple months or maybe 1 month before the election. So you guys, the elections come up and you're really regretting that you didn't get registered to vote, but you have to just sit on your couch, watch the TV, and see who gets elected to represent you. Okay, everyone from this next table, 2 tables, sit down. Okay, these people didn't vote either. Why do you think that is? They did not show up to the polls. So they registered and everything. Luckily, Inspire West Virginia got them registered, but they didn't actually show up at the polls. So, maybe you're in college, you couldn't come down. Not really an excuse because you can do an absentee mail-in ballot. Maybe you had work. Also not an excuse because your employer is required to give you 2 hours to go vote on election day. So, everyone give a round of applause for our voters over here. And can you believe that this many people are representing all of you guys to vote? So what's even more crazy about it, most of these people are 50 or 60 or older. You guys can sit down now. So let's say West Virginia, hypothetically, is facing a budget crisis. And the legislators don't know where to put the money. Think about if they're appealing to the voters, who are they appealing to? Older people. Yeah. So if someone's facing a budget crisis and they're thinking, gosh, about promised scholarship versus Medicare, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to think more about the older people who are showing up to vote. So a lot of people don't really think about how your vote really goes beyond the polls. You're not just voting for the person that you want to represent you. You're also saying, I am showing up. We as young people in West Virginia really care about our future in West Virginia, and we are going to show up. So you all do need to think about our interests when you're thinking about policies. And elected officials want that. Elected officials love working with young people. We just need to show them that we really do care as young people. So if you have not yet registered to vote, make sure you do so with Brad. Talk to him more about getting involved with Inspire West Virginia. We have a really great leadership academy where you get to learn more about civic engagement, how to get civically engaged, and how to really develop as a leader in West Virginia. We have our civic action retreat where you get to meet with elected officials and talk with them, and our day at the Capitol where you can get introduced in front of the legislature. You can also apply to be honorary Secretary of State for a day through our program. So you get to shadow the Secretary of State, be introduced to the West Virginia legislature, and really cool things like that. So you can apply at inspireus-wv.org/2017_application. And I'll send that out if we can get it dispersed or something. But yeah, just look us up, Google us, Inspire WV, and I hope you'll apply. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, if you think of any later, do not hesitate to talk to Brad. He's one of our very best inspired leaders, so he can tell you all about the program. So thank you all so much for taking the time, and I hope But I'll see you. We especially have a ton of slots still open in northern West Virginia. So if you're in northern West Virginia, it should be really easy to get through the application process. So thank you all so much.